Andy, you've been around a long time, but when you're down a set and 3-1 in the tie break and you're playing in a stadium where everybody's cheering for the other guy, what kind of thoughts are going through your head?
It wasn't actually too bad, to be honest. I played in worse atmospheres, so, for sure the crowd were behind him, but it wasn't like, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, just, I was creating a lot of chances and wasn't taking them, so I needed to, that stretch of 5 or 6 points was huge. From 3-1, I served a double fault, 2-1 in the tie break, and then my next 2 serves were aces. Got a good contact on a return at 3-all, and I remember at 3-2, I hit a drop shot, and he had a backhand which hit the tape, and those points there changed the match.
Can you talk us through your drop shot strategy, especially in that first set, and you stopped doing it later on in the match? What was going on?
Well, it was working at the beginning, and obviously got myself into a good position. And the first 2 sets, I was 5-3 up in both, serving for it, and yeah, obviously played too many, but in the end, physically, I think he was struggling. So I don't know if, in a way, they kind of worked in the long term, but I wasn't getting loads of success sort of towards the end of the sets. But then in the second set tiebreak, first point of the tiebreak, I hit a winning drop shot. The 3-2 point, I won the point as well. And yeah, for sure there was too many, but I don't know if in the long run that made it tough for him physically, because he was having to run for a lot of them.
And you just sort of looking at the tournament as a whole, how happy have you been with your form?
Well, I think I played some really good stuff today. I do think I played well. Obviously, the match could have been maybe more comfortable had I done a bit better serving out the first 2 sets. But aside from that, I was playing some good stuff. I finished the match extremely well, I think, and it wasn't easy for me today. I played 2 guys where you get 0 rhythm, against Karlovic and Isner, and then 2-day break where you're barely hitting any balls because of the conditions. It was 30-40 minutes of hitting, and then coming out and playing a completely different match today. I thought I did well for the most part, and tough atmosphere too, so it's not bad.
Andy, obviously you've got to look after your own business, but how tough is it to sort of keep your eye off what's happening in the other side of the draw and sort of not think to yourself, well, I'm sort of pleased that their schedule's getting pretty tough as it is now on the other side?
Yeah, I haven't given it loads of thought. Obviously, your job is to take care of your own matches at these events. Obviously, the weather's been challenging the last few days for, everyone involved, and especially the players in the top half. It's been tricky for sure, but you got to just try and just concentrate on yourself. And right now, tennis players during these events have to be selfish and just look at their own matches and try their best to get through them. But yeah, it's been a tough few days for everyone, but especially the players in the top half.
What did you do all day yesterday? We saw you on the television briefly, you and Delgi coming out and having a look round, but what do you do to fill your time if you can't practice?
Yeah, we hit for 35, 40 minutes in the morning, and it rained the whole practice pretty much, and we hit off-site the day before. We hit indoors for 40 minutes, which is completely different conditions to obviously what we're playing in outside. And then, yeah, you just hang around and wait. Kind of had the feeling yesterday that, we probably weren't going to play. But then, you got to be ready. You know, it's a slam quarter-final, so you can't just sort of totally switch off either. So it's just long days where you're thinking a lot about the match and, you know, whether you're getting on or not. Weather at times looked good, then it was, you know, they were playing through rain, so didn't know if they were going to have to stop. So yeah, it's just not much you can do.
You have to be on site. So what do? Do you play Scrabble? Do you do jigsaws? Do you play cards? What?
Yesterday, no. I mean, I watched a little bit of tennis when it was on. Slept a little bit. Saw my physio a couple of times. Did some stretching with my trainer, and then I can't remember exactly what time we got cancelled. I think it was like 5:45, 6 o'clock, and then just went back to the house where we're staying, and did a few crosswords, had some dinner, and then that was it.
Andy, your fourth semi-final here. You don't have to face Novak or Rafa this time, but I'm sure you'll see Stan as just as tough an opponent.
Yeah, well, I mean, he obviously the last 2 years here has played great tennis after he got through the tough first round here against Russell. He's played, I think, you know, very well. Obviously, didn't see his match today, but yeah, I mean, he's been at the top of the game now for a number of years, you know, and still improving, and, you know, been a little bit inconsistent this year, but obviously won the tournament last week, and has been playing better with each match here, so it'll be obviously very tough. He plays well on that court, so I'll have to play great tennis to beat him.
Andy, with your form on clay in the last 12 months and also the way you played today, is this the most belief you personally have had that you could actually win this tournament?
I got asked that question a bunch before the tournament, kind of after Rome as well, but, you know, last year was similar. I came in having not lost on the clay and played some really good tennis, and I don't know. I mean, I believe I can win the event. Whether I do or not, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But I believe it's possible. I'm only a couple of matches away now, and just give everything I've got the next few days.
Andy, you talked on court about the match looking an entertaining match for the crowd. Are you able to actually enjoy that process while you're in the middle of the match, or is it something that retrospectively you see was a good match to watch? And are there particular sorts of players that you get more pleasure from playing?
Well, I think there was a lot of variety in the points that we played today. There was a lot of different sort of rallies, different shots, angles, drop shots, lobs. So, well, I don't know. Not everyone finds that entertaining. Obviously, some people like different game styles, but, you know, I think there was a lot of good points in the match. A lot of sort of quick reaction, reflex sort of points to, and that's normally the case with Richard because, you know, he's an extremely talented guy. You know, unbelievable single-handed backhand as well. But yeah, I mean, when you're out there, I personally find it quite stressful. I don't know what the other players say, but I'd say most elite sportsmen find sort of competing in their biggest events pretty stressful.
Andy, I know your target isn't just to reach the final, but how big an achievement would it be to have made the final at all the four slams?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, it would be nice. I think, you know, this stage of my career to sort of do things that I've never done before is nice. That's one of the things that sort of motivates me and drives me, and that's why my results on clay over the last couple of years have, you know, been really special to me, because I never expected that really, and it had come, you know, in the latter stages of my career. So, you know, if I was able to make the final here, it would be, yeah, it'd be big for me. But I'm here to try and win the tournament, not make the final, and you know, that's my goal for the next few days.
You were talking about how difficult it was after playing big hitters like Karlovic and Isner. Is it too too excuse me, too simplistic to say that you can put Richard and Stan in the same bracket because they both got these beautiful one-handed backhands, or are they completely different as well?
Yeah, I mean they obviously have some similarities, but you know, Stan probably hits a flatter ball. You know, Richard plays with, you know, quite a lot of height and spin. You know, Stan definitely plays a bit flatter off his forehand and can hit his backhand flat as well. Has a bigger serve, but there's similarities there for sure. So, you know, at least I got used to playing against a single-hander today who can, you know, use the angles, change the direction up the line. So for that, it was good preparation. But Stan definitely serves a little bit bigger, so not like Richard's easy to break, but it's you know, Stan's a tough guy to break when he's serving well.
Okay, thanks very much.